Hi, changebringer. Yes, you are a changebringer. Did you know? If you change something inside of you, something will change in your world, in the world, and in the universe. That's how powerful you are. So today we're gonna bring changes again. This video is about emotions. Emotions are tools, not enemies, right? I see a lot of people have struggle with emotions, and if you look at this video, you will change your mind about emotions. And I make a funny background because whatever you do, you can do it with fun, or you can do it start with unpleasant emotions, and that's why I did it. So to show you, whatever you do, I don't like to talk to that screen. I like to talk to people, but I'm doing it anyway because I have so much to share with you guys. That makes life much more fun and much more easier. And yeah, you're happy with who you are. So let's start. Emotions. Well, in all the years, I discovered 26 unpleasant emotions. That's not that bad. Yeah, I thought there were thousands, but it's not. So you have the basic emotions, for example, worthlessness, rejection, disbelief, unsafe, doubting, yeah, 26. Then you have the reaction emotions on the basic emotions, such as grief, you start to cry, or being angry, or you feel powerless. But I have to look, there's a difference between powerlessness and not knowing any outcome anymore. Yeah, so there's a difference when you feel you don't know what to choose. You don't know, but there's still choices. Yeah, you don't know what decision you make. You get this noxious feeling in your stomach, and maybe you vomit. Yeah, so that's the one I mean. Okay, anyway, that's reaction emotions. So, and a lot of people think when I ask them what sort of emotions is that, they immediately say grief and anger, but these are reaction emotions, emotions reacting on the basic emotions. And then you have combined emotions. And for example, everybody knows I feel unself for sure. I feel unselfish. That means for you and for me, something different. And for everybody. Yeah, it's a combination of emotions, basic emotions, but your combination is different than mine. Yeah. So if people say, I feel unselfish, maybe they have doubt in their basic emotion. They feel they have disbelief in there, maybe, and worthlessness, for example. But for another person, it's vulnerability, rejection, and miscommunication. You know, it can be different. So if people come to me in treatment, well, treatment, if we have a talk about what's going on, then I always start digging in and looking what are the basic emotions of the person. What is he or she talking about? What emotions is he or she talking about? And mostly, if you are in a very unhappy state, you have 6 basic emotions where you struggle with. 6, maximum 6. If you have more than 6 emotions on basic emotions where you struggle with, that means that they're very big in your system. You are not functioning anymore. You have to have, you need help. Yeah. So you cannot function in society anymore. You cannot function among people anymore. Yeah, you need to be hospitalized, or have somebody who guides you, because you cannot do it on your own anymore. If you have less than 6 unpleasant emotions, basic unpleasant emotions that are big in your system, you can function. But there's a but. There's always a but. You suppress these guys. And we all know how we suppress emotions. I did it too. And I try not to do it anymore. And I'm very, hawk's eye on it, that my ego is not trying to suppress them or avoid them. But for example, you disappear in a story in a book, television, of course, computer, gaming, computer, um, film, alcohol, partying, job. That was my escape. My job, workaholic, organizing, job, organizing, whatever. Yeah, and then you have the drugs, the other hard drugs. Alcohol is a hard drug. Then you have the other hard drugs. Escape, sugar, eating, emotional eaters. Where does that word come from? So you suppress this because you see emotions as the enemy. And it's not the enemy. Actually, emotions are tools. So if you're traumatized and you have a lot of basic emotions, big ones, there's no space in the body. And I told you in many other videos how it works. Yeah, this is your vehicle, and if there's too much trauma in your vehicle drags around a lot of trauma, then there's no space for you as a soul to take over and to steer this beautiful vehicle, this amazing vehicle that God gave you. So you have to clean it out. So how to clean it out? Well, to feel it, but not through the brain, because the brain cannot feel. And I told you also in many other videos, the brain cannot feel. The brain can do a lot of other things, but the brain cannot feel. So what you do with it, you learn to feel independent from the brain, and you learn to use your brain in an optimal way. And I can teach you that. And you can teach yourself, stand on one leg, close your eyes, and you cannot go anywhere than in the middle of your head and in the middle of your belly at the same time. Otherwise, you fall over. Yeah. Okay. Train it. And then train it while you talk. Train it while you eat. Train it while you're on the computer. Train it. And after a while, you do it consciously. That's how you can do it. I have a easier trick to do it in your daily life, because standing on one leg is not always possible. But anyway, I started like that. And it works. So anyway, unpleasant emotions are slow, and they take a space in your body, because they're so slow. It takes time for them to move, and they are very slow. I mean, they move with millimeters. Yeah. And then the pleasant emotions, they go through the body like lightning. And if you don't feel that sensitive, if you're not, and I don't talk about being sensitive like overloaded with emotions, but really feeling, if you can feel inside your fingers, if you can feel inside your nose, inside your ears, if you can feel your heartbeat, you can. But a lot of people can't. Why? They're not in their bodies. Because we were trained in school not to stay in our bodies. Children can, but grown-ups can't anymore, because we trained so many years to not be in the body, to be outside the body. Well, anyway, that's another story. So, emotions. Unpleasant emotions are slow. Pleasant emotions are very, very fast, but you can use them as a tool. And how can you use them as a tool? You can use them as a tool to create your life. Because if you start something, a business, a relationship, a new idea, renovating your room, whatever, baking a cake, you have a lot of choices, the pleasant and the unpleasant. Yeah. So, and then you have to decide where to start from. And a lot of people are not even conscious that they make a decision. And they make maybe decisions years ago. For example, you're going to renovate your room. You're fed up with the color, how it looks like, it's updated, you want to renovate it. But you did that 10 years ago in another house or in the same house, and it took you a long time and it was not easy and blah, blah, blah. Then you already decide now that this is going to be hard, this is going to be tiring, this is not going to be easy. Yeah. And then you're going to start. It's tiring, it's not going to be easy, there's going to be a lot of things that not work out the way you want, blah, blah, it's going to cost a lot of money, blah, 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 blah. You hear it, blah, 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 blah. But you also have the other choices. Like, oh, this time I know how I did it last time. I know where it went wrong last time. So let's do it like this and this and this and this. And you start from a pleasant emotion. Yeah, start from a pleasant emotion. If you go for an interview, for example, new job, you can start using your fantasy. Oh, it's going to be hard, and I hope this person's not going to be there because they're very critical and da, 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 da. Or you're going to start from, I got the job. How does it feel like? They like me. They love me. Yeah, that's a different outcome. That's a different outcome. So the universe is unconditional and is working together with you because it's a living entity and we live in the universe. So we're connected with each other all the time. Even if you choose out of the unpleasant emotions, this and this and this and this, and it's going to be like this and this and this, the universe says, okay, always, always. You see? And if you choose out of the pleasant emotions to start from the pleasant emotions and you expect pleasant outcomes, the universe says, okay, do you understand? Do you understand how simple that is? So we have a lot of pleasant emotions and a lot of unpleasant emotions. It's a lot of choice, and we can decide this one and this one and this one and this one. I'm going to start that, and I'm going to start from these and these and these emotions, and I'm going to expect these and these and these emotions because it's all about emotions. Emotions make us make decisions all the time. If you buy a new car, you made it out of an emotional decision. Even if you're very functional, there's something that triggered a pleasant emotion and that activates you to choose that car and not that car. Yeah. The same with food, the same with relationships, the same with the place where you live, the same what you wear, the same. We always, and good salespeople know that. We always make decisions out of pleasant emotions. Why? Because pleasant emotions activate, unpleasant emotions deactivate. So if you decide, we go back to the renovation of the room. If you decide, okay, unpleasant emotions, 3, 4, it's going to take a lot of energy. Why? Because you activate unpleasant emotions in the system of your body, yeah, inside. So what do unpleasant emotions do? Slow the energy, slow down the energy. So what happens then? you have to drag yourself to start. Yeah. And we know all that. We all know it, how it feels like, come on, let's do this. Yeah. Or you can decide, let's start from pleasant emotions. It's going to be nice. It's going to be fresh. I'm going to like this room again. La 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 la. And then you're energized. You're activated. You see, that's what emotions do. So when, for example, a salesperson wants to sell you something, a good salesperson gives you pleasant emotions. It gives you a compliment. You're smart. Oh, not a lot of people see this, or not a lot of people point that out, or you look good, or whatever compliment. If it's not sincere, you feel it, and it gives you an unpleasant emotion. Like you don't trust the person, and you walk away, and you mostly not work together with the person. But if it's a sincere person, he's not only thinking about the money and the commission, about himself, but he is honest, and he tells you like, this car, you have two kids, there's not a lot of room in the back. It is more expensive, it's more beautiful, but that cheaper car has more room in the back for your children, and it has the same options as the other one, and you feel that he's sincere or she's sincere. That brings trust. What is trust? Pleasant emotion. That makes you feel wordful. What's that? A pleasant emotion. And you'll see that this person that sells you that car, that cheaper car, the next time you have a friend or a family member or a colleague that wants to buy a car, you're gonna refer this salesperson, because this is a trustworthy person. He has good in mind. He starts from a pleasant emotion, connection, honesty. There you go. That's how sales works. Good salespeople know this. Not good salespeople don't know this, and they have to do a lot of effort to sell, and they will not keep the customers. Yeah. So this is the same with you doing anything. You have 3 kids and you don't want them to eat rubbish out of the supermarket. So you decided to make a cake for them, or cookies. Yeah. Homemade, all ecological, nice, very healthy. Okay. Then you can think, oh, I hope they're gonna like it, because they're so spoiled with the refined sugar out of the supermarket. Or you can think, oh, they're gonna love it. They're gonna taste the real taste of cookies, or real cookies, grandma's cookies. You see? So in the first, you give the cookies to the children and they go, it doesn't taste like the supermarket. Or you're going to give them with the intention, like, these are grandma cookies. These are the real cookies that my grandma made for me, and they're yummy. Then they're going to like the cookies. They're going to say, it tastes different, but really? And then you tell them what's in there and how you made them, and maybe involve them in making the cookies. That's even better. Do you understand? And now I'm just talking about cookies or changing a room, decorating your room. But it's with everything in life. Everything. You have a lot of choices in a day, and you make decisions every time. And some decisions you made a long time ago, and they still influence your day now. And don't let that happen. Be aware of all the choices you have. There's so many choices in life, and you have a lot of pleasant emotions, unpleasant emotions. Make your decisions. Which one do you give attention to? Which one you're going to use in your life? And this is how you can use your emotions as tools. Now, if you have a lot of trauma in your system, and I experience that, then it's hard. I admit it's hard to focus on the pleasant emotions because the unpleasant emotions are there all the time. Yeah. Yapping. I call them the yappers. They're there all the time. And they try to influence you all the time. And you made a lot of decisions based out of unpleasant emotions. So, okay. What do you do? First of all, you're going to fake it till you create it. Not till you make it, till you create it. Well, together with the universe, of course, the universe creates it for you. But you're going to repeat and repeat. How did I flip my life? Is by saying, oh, I'm always lucky. I'm always lucky. I'm a lucky girl. I am healthy, very healthy. So I used pleasant emotions, confirming them, made them bigger, gave them a lot of attention. Of course, I learned to feel unpleasant emotions because that's why we're here. We're here to experience what we're not so that we experience what we are. What are we not? Unpleasant emotions. What are we? Pleasant emotions. Yeah, we as a soul, not the body. Yeah, the body is just a vehicle. You're the driver and you have this vehicle. So when your vehicle is full of unpleasant emotions, it's hard to get in because the vehicle is low in frequency and it's very hard to get in. And so you can flip it with making mantras, yeah? Repeating and repeating, brainwashing your brain yourself. That's what I did. And then gratefulness, yeah, thank you for this and thank you for that and thank you for my clothes and thank you for the air that I can breathe. Whatever. If you don't see the world as a good place, then at least see what is already there that you can feel appreciated about. Yeah. So use them to use the pleasant emotions to brainwash. It's all about neurons in your brain. Yeah. To change it. And when these change, you have the tendency to make more pleasant emotions. But still, your vehicle is full of unpleasant emotions. And you come here, and I experienced that by doing 2 years of healing work, cleaning up people's aura, taking all these dark clouds away, low frequency clouds away. And then they came back. They had all their symptoms gone, but they came back. 7 months, 8 months, 6 months. And the aura field was just exactly the same, full of these low frequency emotions. And I asked the person what happened. And they just explained me, I don't know. I just, relapsed, fell back into my old patterns. And I was like, why? So I got the answer. And the answer was, we're here for experiences, and you take all the trauma away, the unpleasant emotions, and so the soul cannot have the experience anymore. So the soul puts back these frequencies, and then of course the body reacts on it, and we call it disease, or dysfunctions, whatever we call it, and then the person can have the experience. For example, lack. Okay, you grow up in lack of love, lack of material, lack of money, lack. Yeah. Okay. I would take that lack away, but you as a soul come and experience lack, then to experience abundance. So I take that experience away from you. So the soul says, no, that's why I'm here. So the soul puts the trauma, the big field, that's what I call a trauma, a big field of unpleasant emotions, or many, back into the system. Yeah, so lack. is there again. And then the person has a lot of problems with digestion and so on and so on. I'm not going to tell you where lack is is located. But anyway, then I take away your experience, and that's something I do not wish to do. So here you go. So if the person experiences lack and says, okay, this is lack, and I see other people in abundance, what's the difference? Without judgment and without preference. It's the hard one. Yeah, without preference. And it's only possible when you as a soul experience it, not through the brain, not through the feeling alone, when you use your brain and your feeling together, both of them, always two, always two. If you use them both, then you use this vehicle in an optimal way, and then you, the soul, you, the driver of the vehicle, take over. And you have no judgment and you have no preference. There's no ego in you as a soul. So then what happens? Then you're amazed, like, oh, wow, God, come and have a look. This is lack. I never experienced lack. Of course, you as a soul could not experience lack. You need the body for that. And when you touch that lack frequency field, then you can feel it like, yeah, this is how lack feels. It's completely different as, for example, rejection. And that's why we can define it, yeah? And that's amazing. It's all about frequencies. And it's all about a movement, and you can feel it in a certain place, and you really can feel this is the feeling of lack. And then what happens when you touch it without preference and without judgment? You as a soul are very high in frequency, very high in frequency. So what happens when you touch that low frequency field? It's like you're the sun, and that low frequency field is the ice cube. It melts down, it disappears. What does happen, and that's amazing, when you touch it, you as a soul, you touch the feeling of lack or other unpleasant emotions, they emerge in another frequency, of course, because you mix your frequency with it. And then they start to move very faster, not very fast, but faster, the movement that they normally do. And I can't tell you how. And then they go to their top of their movement, and that is scary for 3 seconds. 3 seconds, 3 seconds, very scary. And the ego goes, no, no, and the ego wants to avoid it, but it's only 1, 2, 3. And then it did its biggest movement, and then it shrinks, and you do it again, and you do it again. And the first time it's very intense. Yeah, I know several times when I went through an unpleasant emotion, a big one, a trauma, I thought, this is it, I'm gonna die. Yeah, but I knew it's only 3 seconds, 3 seconds. So it can hurt also physically. Yeah, you can feel it physically. And don't worry, nothing is gonna happen. I thought many times, like, oh, I'm gonna have a heart attack or whatever. The ego, blah, 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 blah. Of course. Didn't happen, did not happen. And I did it. I had many people go through these fields. Did not happen. Nothing happened. Of course, it was not pleasant in these 3 seconds. And but then it's when it becomes, when it shrinks, there's space for you, and then you feel the opposite emotion, and then you feel, wow, I can now feel the difference between the unpleasant emotion, and you immediately recognize the pleasant emotion, because that's you. And it's just an amazing experience. And I had a lot of people go through this experience, and they were so grateful afterwards. At the moment, no, it was intense, of course. And I did it all by myself. Well, I had my guides with me. But if you have big traumas, don't do it by yourself. Make sure that there's a person with you who just reminds you, like, it's only 3 seconds. Emotions are just uh, frequencies, fields, energy fields, that somebody keeps you in the here and now, what you're doing, and that you don't escape, because the ego is so trained to escape. And my ego also is so trained, like, let's get out of here. Let's think about something else. Let's distract my mind. Yeah. And of course, then you lose the feeling. And then you can start all over again. But anyway, you don't have to go through it alone. Look for somebody who can guide you, and then just step by step make space in your body. And if you don't have a lot of trauma, just try, rewire your brain, and focus on pleasant emotions, pleasant emotions, pleasant emotions, pleasant emotions. You have a lot of choice. Make decisions, make decisions, make decisions. And then you switch, and the universe says, okay, always. You didn't understand. The universe will always. That's why we are living in a free universe, an unconditional universe. The universe will always say, it's great. Universe will not say, not today, or is this a good idea? No, no. It is just amazing. They always say, okay. So when I found this out, I was like, wow, I can use my emotions as tools. I don't have to be afraid of them. I don't have to avoid them. They're not my enemies. Actually, they're my friends. They're my tools. They're amazing tools. So use your emotions as tools. Change your relationship with emotions. That's very important. So use them as tools and create, together with the universe, a life that you like. And you know what? That can change too. Maybe you are happy 10 years ago, and now with things, that you liked 10 years ago, and now you're indifferent. You like more this, or you like more that. So there's nothing stagnant in the universe. We're always changing, 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 changing. So that's why we change bringers. So bring some changes and make it a fun world, a happy world, together with all the other people, and pass it on, pass it on. Influence people's lives. You know what? That's the most amazing thing you can do, is influence other person's life, or other living creature's life, like plant or animal, for the better. Yeah. To see them in misery or in agony, and then you give them something. And it's of course pleasant emotions. You give them trust, you give them connection, you give them safetyness, you trigger pleasant emotions in the animal, in the plant. And yes, plants have emotions too. Don't laugh at me. It's, don't judge me, pray for me. It's scientifically proved. And if you live like me in multidimensional, it's a community. The plants are like there's a community. They live together, or even they fight. Some plants don't like each other. So, and this is also with animals, and it's with human beings. So here you go, make it a pleasant life together with everything that is alive here on this beautiful, beautiful planet. And see you in the next video. Like, share, put a comment underneath. It's fun to see your reactions, and see you in the next video.